Hello everyone. On today's video, we're going to be answering a couple questions as well as revealing what I've been working on over the last week. So if you probably remember a couple weeks ago, I released a map that was basically a little kind of an Operation Allied Force sandbox mission where you get to control all these NATO elements, I should say all these NATO elements, and you got to kind of do whatever you could to this general region, sort of simulating Operation Allied Force. When I originally built this mission, I was kind of going for the whole experience that you probably got for those of you who played Lead Pursuit's Falcon 4 or the AF version, and basically creating kind of like a generic environment where there'd be random targets. I wasn't trying to specifically simulate the day-by-day situation that went on during the Allied Force campaign. I'm gonna have to do an awful lot of reading between now and then. If that's something you guys would rather see, kind of let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I kind of like it the way it is. So what I did here is I actually was able to set up all the naval units so that the player could control them and then set up the Air Force units to go ahead and run their own campaign in the background over the course of the week. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and see what we need to do here. So, I'm going to go and take a look at my briefing real quick. First things first, we want to make sure we have air superiority. This is going to be unbelievably challenging in this scenario. And for those of you who did the Air Force version, you probably have an amazing appreciation for how difficult it is to track down enemy SAMs and destroy them. We want to destroy any leadership and sector control bunkers, and we want to destroy any sort of manufacturing. The good news here is the NATO Air Force, which is over 350 aircraft, are going to be running their own campaign. They're going to be providing us logistical support, refueling. They're going to be doing strikes on enemy runways. All these things are going to be going on as we're running this campaign. A couple of the things we need to think is, like I said, this is a sandbox style campaign. Everything has been randomly kind of placed, and it's just for us to find those things and destroy them in an efficient manner without losing any aircraft, which is going to be pretty challenging. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have at our disposal from the Navy perspective. First things first, we have a British Surface Action Group. It's a pretty small little group here, but it's still very effective. We have the Argus, the Fort Austin, we have the Newcastle, the Iron Duke, and the Grafton. Unfortunately, we don't have really, really strong air assets here. We have a lot of helicopters, and we could probably use them for ASW, but we don't need ASW in this particular scenario. One thing I am going to do is I'm actually going to tell them to come right up along the coast here, because right where the split naval base is, I have a feeling they're going to be doing a little bit of harpooning. Over on this side, we have the French Surface Action Group. It's around the aircraft carrier Foch, which is a very, very large aircraft carrier. Very, very good stuff. This is, again, conventional aircraft carriers. On board, we have a Super Étonnant, we have Crusaders, we have Frelon, we have Alice, as well as Étonnard, which is going to be really nice because they have Recon cameras. We're going to need these so bad in this mission. Over here, we have an EP 3E, which I've loaded up with a bunch of these basically tailed. These are active RF decoys. I'm basically going to launch them all directly in this general direction and hope that some enemy radars bite and turn themselves on while this particular unit keeps an eye on them. Spectacular strategy. Works really well. Worked well in the Persian Gulf War. Let's hope it works well here. Down on this side, we have the U.S. Surface Action Group, and talk about a huge Surface Action Group here. Keep in mind that when I built this scenario, I got myself an OOB, which gave me everything that I needed, but this isn't all at the same time. In this particular scenario, we get everybody at the same time, which is, again, like I said, a little different here. The big thing we got to know here is we have in the dead center of it a very, very nice aircraft carrier. This is the CVN-71. It's the Theodore Roosevelt. It is a big aircraft carrier, and it has everything that you possibly need on it. We have Harriers at our disposal from the LHDs. We have F-14As. These are the new ones that actually have bombing capabilities, so that's awesome. We have the C model, the F-A-18. We have some E-2s, S-3Bs, and also we have some EA-6s as well, plus some helicopter assets. Down here in the south, we have one last naval group that we have at our disposal here. This is basically a combined Netherlands, Belgian, German group all in one big, big squad. Again, absolutely wonderful stuff because we can utilize this to basically keep an eye on the coast for us, and that's my intention. So without further ado, let's go get going. Again, I'm not going to play the full scenario because it's a week-long scenario. We'll be here for about 4.5 hours for those of you who go through the full experience. Totally worth it, by the way. I think my record score so far is like 3,800 points, and that was at the loss of two F-18s. So I'm not going to go all the way through it because I've been spending plenty of hours, as you can probably imagine already, getting this to work. All right, so first things first, we need to make sure that this NATO SAG can get itself into the Adriatic Sea here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to left click on the unit, press F4, and I'm going to switch over to formation view. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch towards a formation that is going to be basically a line formation. So to do that, I simply left click on one of the units. I'm going to go ahead and set station relative, which means follow the lead unit. And I'm just going to make my way through and go ahead and put everybody in a nice handy dandy little line here to make myself a little bit simpler as far as moving these groups around. Keep in mind, because most of these guys are all guided missile frigates, you don't really have to worry as much as far as, what facing they're going to have to be to make sure you don't cover up any guns or anything. It's just not the same sort of issues that you had in World War II. All right, now that everybody's been established, I'm actually going to change my little pathway here, and I'm going to send them basically right up the coast, and they're going to run some interference, and they're going to rendezvous with the British here. We'll set them up to cruise speed, and they're pretty much ready to go. So next thing we need to do is we need to start thinking about our aircraft. So our first problem really is the fact we have no idea where anything is. Again, this is a huge region, and again, like I said, if you play the Operation Allied Force game by Lead Pursuit, you're very familiar with this particular scenario, and that's again why I used it as a basis for this. I actually counted up each individual unit on the map and like print screened it. It was a lot of fun, but it was way too much work. I should have done something much simpler. But anyway, that being said, enough of that. Let's go ahead and start planning our strategy here. So first things first, we have the British SAG. We need to put these guys to use here. We have a bunch of Lynx HMA-8 helicopters. So right now they're equipped for maritime surveillance. I would rather use them as anti-ship, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and order them up to get some Sea Skua missiles. Let's see, this one's got a Sea Skua already. Let's see the Grafton. It's got a couple Stingrays. I'm not worried about ASW in this scenario. If this were a modern version of this scenario, you'd have to be a little bit worried about that. But again, it's in March 1999. I don't have to be too concerned. So let's go ahead and flip on some Sea Skuas. Again, those are anti-ship missiles. They're not big anti-ship missiles, but they'll do the job. All right, beautiful. Those guys are now ready to go. Actually, I want to make sure they're going full speed too. Let's bring them to cruise. Beautiful. All right, the French group. Now, this is a neat collection of units. It's not quite as many as you get on an American carrier group, but it's still enough to cause a lot of damage. The first aircraft we have is these beautiful Ethanauer. This is an older, it's kind of like an A4 is another way to sort of think about this particular aircraft. It's basically a dedicated attack plane. And what's really, really nice about it, so if I open up one of the menus real quick, we have a beautiful collection of different weapons on here. Now, I don't know what I'm going to have to attack right away because I haven't seen it yet, but I do want something that's got a little bit of precision. So the only thing we really have at our disposal are these GBU-12s, which require buddy elimination. Again, if the Air Force were here and they could help us out with A-10s or OA-10s, we could probably take advantage of this, but I'd rather just use these, which are the AS-30s. These are really, really effective. The exosets are very tempting too, but I'm not going to be using those because, again, I know I'll have other resources later on. So let's go ahead and grab all these. I'm just going to arm them so that they're ready to go for takeoff. Again, the AS-30 is kind of like a slightly large S-25 or almost like a Maverick. The F-8Ps, these guys are already equipped with magic missiles. That works perfectly. That's exactly what I want them for. The Super Frelon, these are all anti-ship, or anti-submarine, I should say. I don't think I have anything else. I have an L4, which, it's, I'm going to leave that one alone. We're going to probably not use these. We have these particular helicopters as well. Let's see if we got maritime patrol is all we got. And then, of course, we have these beautiful reconnaissance aircraft, which we're absolutely going to need in this scenario to be successful. Coming back to the U.S. Surface Action Group. Oh, boy, here we go. So first things first, we're not going to need any of these helicopters for this particular scenario. But what I do want is I want to grab these Harriers, and I want to arm them with the side arm, the AGM-122A. This is an anti-radiation missile based on the Sidewinder. It's just like there's so many of these made and they just didn't really go anywhere. Those DCS fans are probably familiar with this weapon. I really enjoy using it because again, it's that, oh my god, I got surprised. And you just pull the trigger on as fast as you can and it homes in on the first radar lighting up the particular aircraft. Now, normally when you're playing this as a regular mission, you don't have the ability to ready immediately. I'm going to ready immediately to save the 3-hour loading time. Keep in mind the Air Force is going to be launching their efforts at about 6 Zulu time, so I kind of want to get in before them because they're going to get themselves shut down because they don't know what they're doing. Tons of Seahawks. Again, these would be all anti-submarine warfare. Can't use them for that. The F-14As, I'm actually going to leave this group of F-14As as this particular aircraft. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to grab this other pack of F-14As. Now, if I know that I was just going to concentrate on destroying ground targets, which you should not do until you have air superiority, I'm warning you for those of you playing this mission, I'd rather use these guys basically as very, very heavy hitters with the Phoenix missile. It's just a spectacular weapon. And yes, I'm going to use all of these together because it's going to get me that maximum punch I'm going to need. The F-18s, again, first things first, air superiority. Don't worry about the targets. Remember, I've got Tomahawk cruise missiles. I can get the targets any day. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to load them up with this particular modification here. This is the HARM. This is with CBU-59s and the Nighthawk pod, which is FLIR. So we can actually use these as reconnaissance assets. Again, I'm cheating here. Normally we'd have to rate the 3-4 hours for it, but that's okay. Let's grab this group as well, and I'm going to equip these with as many HARM missiles as I can. Now, I can't tell you off the top of my head exactly how many HARM missiles were fired during Operation Allied Force, but I guarantee you it's in like the 600 range. It's unbelievable. My Hawkeyes, they're perfect the way they are. We'll set them up. My Hoovers, let's see here. My first instinct with the Hoovers is even though they're pretty good attack aircraft, I'd much prefer using them for the purposes of attacking any enemy ships that we come across. So I'm going to go ahead and equip these with harpoons, and they'll just be ready to go. Bunch more Seahawks, and we have these EA6Bs. Now, this is a pretty interesting modification of the original A6 because we can either do harms. By the way, harms means a harm, which isn't great, or we can do these ANALQ 99Is. This is offensive electronic countermeasures. That's exactly the way I want them. These are really good for that purpose, and we're going to need a lot of jamming in the scenario. Last but not least, we have some C2As, which basically they're mail planes, no offense. You can kind of see where the radar dish would be up on the tippy top here. It's just not there. We're not going to use these for anything in this scenario. I'm not going to worry about it. The other thing that we do have at our disposal, which you can't see on our little map right here, is if I bring up my order of battle, I actually have some KC-130s at my disposal, and I also have some P3s available at my disposal if I wanted to do some patrol work down at Rota Air Force Base. Again, these are pretty solid anti-submarine warfare aircraft. If we wanted to, we could pull them out, but again, unfortunately for us, let me go ahead and call up the loadout of a P3 real quickly just so you can get a feel for it. You could see that if I wanted to do some mining, it wouldn't be bad. If I wanted to do some anti-ship work, I could do, but I'd almost rather leave these at home. I just don't need them for this particular scenario. So now that everything's kind of set up, let's start getting our mission together. So first things first, we're going to have to establish just a general combat air patrol to kind of protect our carrier groups. We don't want any surprises. Taking a look at where my threat vector is going to be, again, they're going to basically be flying from all these air bases, basically at us. If they're silly enough to come right at us, we need to consider what are our air defenses like. On the U.S. side, we have these spectacular DDGs and CGs that have the RIM, I forget which one it is, I'll find it right there, RIM 66, which is a spectacular surface-to-air missile. Basically, this group is completely invincible with those surface-to-air missiles. It's just such a concentration of fire. If they launched everything they had at us, which they wouldn't because that would be a waste of airplane, we might have a problem, but that's not going to come up. So that aspect of cap is almost not needed. What we do need to consider, though, is being able to identify where the enemy's sights are. So I'm going to go ahead and set up kind of this little armed combat air patrol mission. It's going to look a little ridiculous, but it's actually going to work pretty well for us. So I'm going to go to my carrier here. I'm going to go ahead and get myself some Harriers. I'm going to launch all of them together. I know this seems very silly, but it's going to make sense when you see it. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Tomahawks, or it's a Tomahawk. I am going to use those later. I'm going to grab my Tomcats, but I'm actually going to assign a mission. I'm going to grab all, this is going to seem a little absurd, but trust me. I'm going to launch all of these wonderful F-18s. And again, you're probably sitting there going, this is getting a little weird. What are you trying to do here? And I'm going to go ahead and launch all my Hoovers too. Beautiful. Awesome. So now those are going to get started to launch. It's going to take a while to get that many aircraft airborne. So while that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and set up my little area for my E2. We'll call this support. And we'll do a support mission. Press OK. Let's go get my... Look at my aircraft I have. This is so nice. I never get this spoiled. Let's see here. We need to get ourselves... I'm going to grab these ones a little bit later on. There's my Hawkeyes. I just need one on station at a time. Go ahead and toss it over there. Got some KC-130s. I'll toss them over there. And you know what? Why don't we do some electronic surveillance? And I'm going to throw the P3s up there too. Why not? I mean, I feel bad for them if they don't. And again, we're not being charged by the gallon of gas here or anything like that, so I'm not that concerned with it. We're going to make sure they use active radar. Next thing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to spread this out just a little bit. Beautiful. Okay. Next thing, what I'm going to be interested in doing is I want to recce this beautiful coastline right here. For those of you guys who don't know this particular area of the Balkans well, the first thing I would check is the relief layer. You can see it is unbelievably mountainous. So it's going to be very challenging to reconnoiter this without basically getting wrecked in these valleys. So we have to be totally cautious when we do that and basically pick a vector. Again, I think the safest vector, ironically, would almost be going up and around and then kind of digging our way across at super low altitude, trying to do reconnaissance the whole way. So let's go ahead and get that all set up. I'm going to leave that alone. Switch out of relief layer here. Let's see, who's this? This is my AV-8Bs. Let's make sure they're on kill anything they see. Target of opportunities. Yeah, you guys have fun. I'm just going to fly them gently in this direction. Next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and deselect that. I'm going to get my Tomcats busy here because these are amazing, 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 amazing aircraft. But we have to make sure we give them something to do. All right, looks pretty good. We'll call it Tomcap. Because, yeah, I think you saw what I did there. All right, let's grab all of my Tomcats. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to do fairly large groups of Tomcats together. You're probably going to be wondering about that, but that's actually going to save me a lot of frustration, as you'll see. And we'll do it within weapon range, and we'll go ahead and add a prosecution area. We don't want to accidentally hit the wrong zone there. Okay, next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting up some jamming. So what do we got as far as jamming goes? Oh, beautiful. My F-18s. I'm going to set up some jamming support here because I basically want to blind them in this zone as I'm working my way across reconnaissance-wise. The other thing while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and get my Super ETNR. Actually, these are my regular, these are the IVPs. I'm going to launch them as well. All right, my F-18s are on the way. I'm sure we're getting all sorts of angry things. Let's see what the weather is today. We got clouds at 25,000, which means we have to operate below 25,000. So we'll send them to actually, I'm going to set them to medium altitude. I know this isn't the best for them as far as range goes, but I need to be able to hide behind these mountains when SAMs start getting launched at us like crazy, which is going to start pretty much right away. One thing I do notice is there's this one lucky SAM group that I can already spot. So there's no reason why I shouldn't automatically send 3 Tomahawks to it. I mean, I'm just being rude if I don't, right? Let's go ahead and send him 3 as well. All right. Is there any other obvious sites that I can also hit their naval base. We can also hit their airports, but we don't need to hit their airports. We also see there's a large government building. That's basically free points if I put some rounds into that. But for now, I'm going to save my Tomahawks. I've only got like 50 of them, so I got to kind of go easy here. All right. What else we got? Looks good. Looks good. My F-18s are on the way. Here comes my next flight. All right, these are more Hornets. I'm going to send them over that way. I'm also going to drop them down to medium altitude. Again, usually I do these things with missions, but today I need to be a little bit more careful. Oh, there's my Hoovers. I'm going to go send my Hoovers up north here. Pretty low altitude, actually. I don't want them to run the risk of accidentally getting detected too early. That looks good to me. All right, you guys have fun. Let me know how it turns out. And now what I'm going to do is set up my support mission so I can start jamming them like crazy as I do my little armed reconnaissance here. Let's go ahead and say jam. Let's do a patrol. Not a patrol. It's going to be a support mission. We're going to go ahead and grab our extremely expensive. Be careful with these things. You've only got 4 of them. We're going to do groups of 1, and I'm going to do all 4 at the same time. We'll go ahead and activate jamming. We'll do OECM on. Beautiful. I'm just going to confirm something real quick. I believe I did this correctly. I just want to make sure. Yep, I'm good. Beautiful. All right, let's do it. All right. So now we are on our way. The Hoovers are on the way. My F-18s are on the way. My Tomahawks are on the way. And we are like in really good shape. Where are my IVPs? There they are. All right. I need you guys over here as fast as you can get here. Stay at medium altitude. Again, those mountains can work both ways. They can protect us and put us in great danger here. Oh, we've got some targets already. A couple bogeys. Nothing too scary. All right. Those are going to be launching shortly. I feel like I can hit this, but clearly it's not in the water, so don't waste the harm if you don't need to. Speaking of wasting harms, oh, so quick. Hold on. We got to be careful with those harms because they tend to waste them. We'll use 1/4 of the missile defense. That seems safe. As far as the sidearms go, we'll do the same thing. 1/4 of the missile defense. Nice. Sidearm is a very small anti-radiation weapon, but it's got very short range. Speed up time a little bit here. Oh, we're already launching. All right, what else we got here? We have the Vikings. The Hoovers are on the way. Who's this? These are Tomcats. I'm actually going to order them to intercept whoever this guy is over here. What I really need to do is get a little bit more spread out here with my aircraft. Because as it stands, the radar warning receivers aren't getting us a good triangulation on anything right now. So I'm actually going to spread them out a little bit. Medium altitude. Again, you want to check it very carefully here. I'm going to take it easy. Usually I rush things much too quickly. Keeps wasting those long tracks. No, it seems like I got a lock that time. You're not firing the sidearms, are you? He's firing sidearms. Get back. You guys are wasting my weapons. Okay, we're starting to triangulate a little bit here. Pretty confident it's right here. So I'm actually going to turn my group of F-18s around here, and we're going to go ahead and take a pot shot. Now, what I would like to do is use... I guess not. Where are my Etenards? They're right there. Hachu! Oh. See, they were here already. Look at that. So we're going to send these guys down to low altitude, and they're basically going to go nap at the Earth here and try to identify where that radar station is. Meanwhile, I'm going to get my F-18s into place. I'm going to get my AV-8s into place. I'm going to go ahead and get this crew into place as well. Let's see what else we have as far as aircraft. I believe this is one of my huge Tomcat. Look at the radar range on this thing. Those are all hostiles. And now my F-14s will take care of things on their own. Let's see here. This is one of my AWACS. I can see is already starting identifying things for us. This is a huge island, by the way. Like, it's much, much bigger than you think it is. You know, it's 7 by, let's see, 20. It's gigantic. It actually blocks this whole harbor, making it very difficult to get a shot in there. Is this a confirmed target? Oh, nope. That would have been easy. Ah, beautiful. We had a lock. That's coming from the side again. I'm actually going to move you guys over here because you are wasting those like crazy. I gotta see how, because I took the F-18s on opposite sides, I have a much better idea of where it is. As a matter of fact, if I move this group of F-18s here, you can see that I have it pretty much concentrated. Let's see here. We're gonna go take a shot. Off it goes. Harm away. Because if we can get the early warning radar, this is gonna be a much safer engagement. Boom. Got it. Is this another one? Yeah, let's go get that one too while we're at it. Weapon away. And we're in range of this one too. Might as well, right? All right, I'm gonna have everybody kind of orbit here. Who's this? These are my F-18s, my gigantic group of F-18s. I'm really waiting on the Zetanars to get a little bit closer here. All right, off they go. Because if this connects, watch out! Get to the deck, get to the deck, get to the deck. Shoot, SA-2 sight. Turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. Are you guys in line of sight here? Maybe we should fire you instead. It doesn't matter. These guys are going to fire first. Just out of range. No, these are Hornets. We got to get these guys low. Off they go. I'm actually going to turn this crew around and get them away. I really wish my jammers were in place, because if my jammers were in place, we could have avoided this from even happening. Go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. Get like an inch off the ground. Yes! Beautiful. All right, that fan song is toast. Get away, get away, get away! Aha, this is what you get for turning your radar on. Glorious. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab our surface action group. Now that we've identified a site, let's give it a pair of Tomahawks because we're mean. And then we're going to move inland and see what else we can find. So usually what I like to do is have a bomber group too with some CBUs to kind of do the deed after the fact. Actually, I think I have a group of CBUs. Where are they? You guys got CBUs? Yes, you do. I'm actually going to order you to attack. Beautiful. Oh, the radar is still emitting. Interesting. This looks like our first one didn't hit it. And you can see this poor SAM site is about to get hammered. And gone. Nice. All right, let's bring them all in and see how we're doing. I'm going to rejoin my group here. Let's see here. We can always use our machine guns too, because we have this nice little gal. It'd be kind of fun to strafe. I'm not really a fan of strafing SAM sites because you tend to get hit with SA-7s and SA-15s when you do that, so you kind of be cautious here. I'm really confused as to where my Etenards went, though. There they are. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to set you guys to about 2,000 feet above ground level. And we're going to go do some reconnaissance. I'm going to go ahead and start making my way in here. There's the first group of Tomahawks. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that we disabled this radar. I'm going to go ahead and quickly check my radar settings for emissions because I want to make sure we can see it. Set it to all. Beautiful. That way we can keep track of if anything. Something's looking at us. Where's my F-18s? Hey guys, go do something about that, will you? I can see there's a SAM battery there. We've just identified it too. Well, that was a mistake because you're about to get about 3 Tomahawks launched at you. And again, this is a beautiful use of Tomahawks. Once you can identify something, just hammer them with the Tomahawks. Don't waste your time. Oh, beautiful. Enemy ships. Where's my Hoovers? Hey, guys. If you would be so kind. Remember, the Harpoon's got a pretty long reach on it. These 2 island radars is kind of bothering me. I sort of want to go in and check them out. We've also got another one right here that I want to kind of investigate. We got it. Okay, let's head this way. Let's go grab, let's see, this is my next group. They're heading that way. These are my Harriers. We're going to send them in. And where are my scouts? There goes my scouts. All right, so we're going to pick up a little, how much gas we got here? If we go up to military speed, what is that going to do for us? It's probably going to knock us down to like 20 minutes. All right, I'm going to do just a reconnaissance run of this zone. And meanwhile, these F-18s, you just kind of keep an eye on things for us as we do it. kind of an armed reconnaissance operation. Oh, we got something else right here. Where's my Hoovers? Ah, my Hoovers have already fired. If you'd be so kind as to launch at that one also. And then I'll have them orbit and come back to them in a few minutes. All right, looks good, looks good. Kind of want to strafe this site like really bad, but I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, my Tomahawks will do the job for us. All right, let's go meet up with our buddies here. See, these are the Harriers. I'm going to kind of keep them close to the F-18s here. And this group of F-18s, I'm going to let them take care of this system right here. We'll fire a pair of harms once we get in range. Oh, no, we are in range. My apologies. Oh, we're in range of this one, too? I was going to say, no way. I thought that was a little out of reach. Off they go, and that'll take out another one of their surveillance radars, making it a little bit harder for them to identify where we are. We got a radar. Shoot. Down, 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 down. Yeah, we got to turn around, turn around. Get down, get down, get down. They got to get behind this mountain range here. Yeah, that was a mistake. Oh, no. Get down. Yes, beautiful. Well done, well done. Now, this is actually a perfect target for this. I actually got to watch out for my anti-nards here because they're probably going to get wrecked if we're not careful. But you can see that this group over here, this F-18, had already spotted them, so they're firing a couple missiles at it. Unfortunately for us, he's probably not emitting anymore. So I'm going to come back up to medium altitude. I really want to stay away from that other side. We'll go into this bay real quick. What do we have here? My anti-nards are just kind of taking a look around, kind of low altitude. I really want to trick them to firing again, but that's getting really, really dangerous. All right, how are we doing here? Glorious. Oh, that's an F-14 group. They're doing their things. All right, let's grab my F-18 group. Things are looking pretty good. I'm going to kind of rendezvous over here. I have a feeling it's going to need another one in about a half a second here. Bummer, it's not emitting. Oh, we got an illuminator. Lose some altitude, guys. Let's go ahead and grab this one. Another 10 seconds we'll be able to launch at it. I think this one's still going to be active, but we'll find out in a second. So what I just did there it goes. Missiles away. Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Beautiful. There's a bunch of mountains in the way. We definitely got to get another one sending its way. Off it goes. Beautiful. All right, get out of here, guys. Meanwhile, our Etenards are having a good time just kind of doing some reconnaissance here. Again, when you're flying this kind of reconnaissance, you want to be flying at relatively low altitude and just kind of scooting around things. We finally got our jammers in place, which is probably going to make things a little bit easier. Our Hoovers are doing a beautiful job. I'm actually going to have them kind of do a little hovering for the Hoovers. All right, hopefully those fan songs do the job. I'm actually going to have these guys pop up real quick. Not to maximum altitude, just enough altitude so that this SAM site tries to take another shot. Because if I check its range, yeah, we're within range. It'll pop up for a second, take its shot, and then these missiles will relock onto the SAM site and automatically engage it and basically destroy it, which is going to be a great way to deal with this. I still think this one's active. I'm not convinced that we defeated it completely yet. And is it going to connect? That was a hit, but that doesn't mean anything. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Comes the next one. Ooh, did no effect. All right, let's fly right at it and see what happens. I believe these guys are all anchoring. Yep, they're about to start anchoring. I want to take another look at this one over here. Oh, we spotted something. A military base. Beautiful. Could you get me 4 Tomahawks, please? Thank you. And you can see the Tomahawks from earlier just about to arrive at that SA-2 site that we spotted. What's this? Ah, it's a Phoenix. Oh, we got a radar illuminator warning. Where's our F-18s? Those are Harriers. Those are Etenards. Spin them around. We spotted a new SAM site. Spin us around now. Get it before it gets away. So now these Hornets are going to come spinning around. All right, we got to get these guys out of here as fast as we can. Low altitude. Minimum altitude, minimum altitude. Get into the mountains. Oh, we decided to take a couple shots. They're just taking pot shots with their cannons as they fly over. An SA-3 site was just located. We're going to prepare another Tomahawk for that SA-3 site. Again, we just want to kind of zipper through. We'll give 2 of these because that'll be more than enough. Oh, looks like we spotted another one, but we already have 2 Tomahawks on the way. All right, I'm going to get you guys out of here because I have a feeling you're just going to waste our time. All right, let's get them all over there. Send you guys over here. Send you guys over here. Who's this? This is a group of Tomahawks. Tomahawks. I keep calling them Tomahawks. Tomcats. So unfortunately for us, we require a good lock in order to actually hit this SA-3 site. So I'm a little nervous that our Tomcats will not keep them illuminating. Oh, that's a hit. And like I said a moment ago, we just launched a bunch of free Tomahawks. And it looks like we've actually identified where those extra targets are. So you know what I really want to do? I'm going to go grab my Harriers. All right, boys, I got a job for you. Go figure it out. Oh, we spotted a new one. See it? Lovely. We knew they were going to have some air defense, but this is ridiculous. I'm going to set these guys over here. Let's go grab my F-18s. I'm going to head this way. And it's an SA, what is it? It is an SA-5. Yeah, SA-5. Really long range. We're going to come around this way. Come up to medium altitude. Again, we've got a pretty good amount of jamming going on, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult for them to engage. I'm pretty sure we hit that site effectively. By the way, if you look at the side of an icon, the lower number is how many things have been launched at it. The upper number is how many things have been allocated for it. So you can see in this case, 3 weapons have already been launched at that site. All right, how are we doing everywhere else? We have an SA-5 over there. We haven't even engaged that one yet. Let's grab our F-18. Looks like we have 2 enemy aircraft coming our way. We're out of harms. It's not eliminating. Yep, that's a dangerous weapon. And notice our Tomcats locked up on them, and they're already firing. Yep, there's the Tomcats engaging them. Sidetrack, by the way, that's a good sign that we're dealing with MiG-29s. Yeah, MiG-29s. They're still taking pot shots at our decoys. You guys are silly. Where's our Hoovers? Our Hoovers are doing a great job. And you can see our harpoon missiles are arriving at the enemy ships. Things are going well here. Things are going well. Let's take a look real quick. We can see a couple Phoenixes arriving. Oh, we got something. It's a Samus. It's going after the... Oh, you're silly. You shouldn't have wasted your shot on that. A great strategy, by the way, is just to launch a Tomahawk just sort of generically and sort of follow the path it travels. Oh, geez. That's not good. Give us an F-14. F-14, 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 F-14. Give me an F-14. If you be so kind. I got to get my Etenards out of there real quick. The Harriers are off doing the Harrier thing. F-18s. Let's go ahead and do something with this. Oh, I don't have AIM-120s. Oh, no, it's too early in the war. We got to get out of here until the F-14s can save us. F-14s, save us. There they are. Oh, geez. Lots of targets. Remember, these F-14s are actually engaging these MiG-29s all the way over here. So we definitely want to deal with that. Oh, no. I guarantee that came from a sand site of some kind. No, it's a slotback. That's a MiG-29 also. For those of you who know the actual Operation Allied Force, there were MiG-29s actually in the engagement for about a second. They had some technical difficulties and were not really able to effectively be utilized. But this is starting to get overwhelming very quickly. I kind of want to pull all my elements out of here as fast as I can. My my Phoenixes are doing a great job of basically suppressing these guys. But I'm very, very concerned that we're going to... Oh, look at this. It's leading it. Beautiful. All right, my Harriers are off doing their thing. They're going to go attack these 2 targets here. I believe one of the ships is still alive, so I'm going to grab my Hoovers. I'm going to order them to attack that ship as well. And this is where the chaos starts. Okay, you need to keep a close eye. Again, the confusion of combat is when the casualties start. My F-14s are doing a glorious job here. Who else do we have? I really wish we had some AMRAAMs, but it's just too early in the war to have AMRAAMs. All right, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Where's my Etenars? There they are. All right, let's start sneaking this way. It's tempting. Oh, we do have AMRAAMs. Beautiful. Might as well put them to use, right? Okay, we do not on those guys. Okay, got it. We do not have AMRAAMs here, though. All right. I wonder how you can see all our Tomahawks launched out of the Adriatic there, kind of making their way towards the target region. Again, this is a massive, massive, massive... Yeah, probably Phoenixes. Nope, that was a rim. We just got a naval kill. Nice. That doesn't happen every day. And again, our Tomahawks have got their hands full, and they're way, way too much into the combat, the kill zone here. They need to get out of here as fast as they can. I hope that's a MiG-23. Yes, that's... Oh, he spotted something. Hello. Good job, Super Denon. Let's go ahead and receive you with a couple Tomahawks here. Again, reconnaissance is important. I have a feeling we're about to lose our first airplane here. No, not to a MiG-23. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's a disappointment. I'm guessing that's a Sparrow. Uh-oh. We have magics. We can engage too. Let's try it. Oh, we got another missile inbound. Let's see, we got an AMRAAM and A model, and we also have a Sparrow. Chances are this is an R-27R, which is going to be a semi-active radar homing weapon. So if we can get him to turn, we've already won the engagement. Come on, turn, 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 turn. You're about to get it with an AMRAAM. Turn, turn. He's gone. Oh no. All right, let's take organized. Oh, we lost an F-18. Nothing new there. We got to pull our guys out of here. There's just way too many MiG-29s to be safe right now. Oop, those are F-14s. Just kidding, guys. We got to get everybody out of here. All right, let's take a look. It's looking pretty good right there. I don't like the way this is going. I'm going to use my Harriers for what I was going to use my Harriers for anyway. Apparently we missed. Let's grab my Hoovers. You guys got any harpoons left? Nope. We are out of harpoons. RTB. We got to get out of here. It's getting too intense. And again, I rushed it. I shouldn't have. People got shut down who didn't need to get shut down because of it. All right, what else we got here? There's SNRs is still doing their thing. Let's go ahead and do a really, really high speed, low altitude burn. Let's see, what's this? This is a Sparrow. Oh, it's such a piece of... No, it's not a good missile. I have so many harms left, though. I feel so bad not utilizing them. Speed up time a little bit here. What do we got here? F-14's doing the F-14 thing. Is this a rim? No, it's a Phoenix. Oh, who got that cheap shot? Nice. Good job, VF-41. Here comes a bunch more Phoenixes. Surprise! Oh, lost in the mountains. Oh my gosh, I gotta get our guys out of here. Okay, get out of here. I don't know what these are. What are they? MiG-21? MiG-25s. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, well, look at that. The Tomahawks finally arrived. Get out of here. If you can get low enough, you might be able to get underneath the attack. Again, the mountains here are ridiculous. Do you guys have AMRAAMs? We have an emergency. Afterburner, we've got some really, really scary MiG-25s. Was that what I thought it was? It was a RIM 66. Ha ha ha! I didn't expect that, did you? Oh, we spotted another building. Oh, might as well take advantage of that. All right, we'll send you 3. Nice. Probably the ethanol doing his thing again. Oh no! Oh no! All right, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Okay, I think the important lesson to take away from this is the fact that you need way more combat air patrol aircraft for this particular scenario if you're going to be successful. So hopefully you've learned something from that. I think this is probably going to be a pretty good place to stop. I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody back home now, because it seems like a pretty good time to do that. Order them to go ahead and come back to base here. That's these guys. I'm going to order them back. Let's see, these are F-14s. I'm going to love my F-14s doing the F-14 thing, because it's kind of what they're good at. Man, we're just getting hammered with aircraft here. Now, one thing that you can do when you play this scenario yourselves is I highly recommend waiting for the Air Force to launch also. They do it at about 6 because they're going to put so many combat air patrol aircraft in the sky, it's basically going to block out the sun. And that works amazingly well here. And you can see the weather is not terribly good here. But we did do a pretty significant amount of damage. I guarantee you my score is probably like minus 300. But again, that's just to make you realize just how tricky this can be. I think going back, what I really should have done is set up a trap basically put a bunch of free aircraft here and had them throw all of their combat air patrol assets at me and then blow them up one by one and basically grind them out of air assets, then I would have sent in everybody else. Are these all rims? Or these? Oh, yep, they're all rims. Ha ha ha! Didn't surprise. Ha ha ha! You flew right into my sand battery. That's one way to get a MiG-25, right? I consider that a valid kill. Can't wait to see the score after this engagement is over. Oh, we lost line of sight with the rims. Should have brought in the Navy a little bit closer to help out. Oop, that's not going to go well. That's not going to go well. Joke's on them, though. They're about to get hit with a bunch of... Yep, there they go. Ha ha. Speed up time a little more here. That is so many enemy aircraft. Oh my gosh. Keep in mind, in the real Allied force, they didn't have nearly this many. I'm just basically basing this, like I said, on the Falcon Allied force. How many missiles do you think I've gone through so far? This is crazy. I should move my Navy closer to the shore so I can just use them as like a land-based sand battery. Wait a minute. Do I have my S3s still? No, those are F-14s. I think I put my S3s away already. No. Oh, they're going back home. Bummer. There's still some enemy ships left. Oh, well. Speed up time a little bit. Let them kind of finish off what's going here. Try to get those last few points thanks to my rims. Oh, this is like cheating. I bet you they didn't expect that very much. Yeah, basically what I expected. All right, let's see how terrible I did. I'm guessing minus 300 is probably a lot worse, though. Let's find out. Let's find out. Oop. Let's see here. Scoring. Minus 300. 90! Wow! That is way better than I thought I did. All right, let's take a look at the graph. Looks like my peak score was actually 220 points. And then this is when all my F-14s got ganked by the MiG-29s. And we're slowly working our way back up because we started doing some extra damage here. And again, you can take a look at the log. And we did a pretty decent job to start with. So total losses of 2 F-18s and 2 F-14s, which is way better than I expected, given that I was kind of rushing through things. Taking a look at my expenditures, though. Look at this, 121 RGM-109s. Yikes. Scrolling down here, let's see what we did as far as damage. Yeah, they lost a lot of aircraft. And you can see they also lost a significant amount of surface-to-air defense. If we kept working at this for a few more hours, we'd be able to basically cut our way through all this. And keep in mind, when you get to about 6 o'clock or so, the Air Force shows up. So let's go ahead and advance time. This will be our last kind of thing here. Boop. And let's... 6 o'clock. So now the Air Force is going to come out to do whatever the Air Force likes to do. Now, this is pretty insane because when you watch this, what's going to happen is all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's just going to be hundreds of F-16s just blocking the sky out. You'll notice, by the way, during this campaign that the Air Force set up a bar cap both in the north as well as the west and put all these refueling aircraft out ready to go to kind of help us out here. And again, we could have used these at any time. But again, this is a huge, 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 huge map here. I mean, again, it's 400 miles across. So again, for those of you guys who are Allied Force fans, if you remember Amendola Airport, I'm sure you're very comfortable with carrying those 2 gigantic fuel tanks to try to get somewhere here and always having to refuel on the way back because, by that point, you're pretty empty. Okay, all of our aircraft are coming in, landing. Like I said, we did better than I thought we did, but that was still pretty embarrassing, not going to lie here. But again, it's worth taking a look at what works and what works. And what I love about this game is you can experiment with these things. So just taking a look at how many F-16s, F-15s, F-18Ds, MiG-29s, MiG-21s, Sukhoi 9s, everything. Now, the good news is we did a pretty good job denting up some of their Air Force, which means that when the big air battle is going to start in about 2 seconds here, it's going to make it a little bit easier to survive. Now, for those of you who play the Air Force version of this, it's going to be a little different based on what strategy you choose to employ. But again, I tried to create kind of a default strategy here. Let me go ahead and do this. All right, last thing we'll see today, and then I'll let you look. And again, the scenario will be down below if you want to go ahead and try it out yourself. I've had to make some updates to the previous one. I just like looking at this scenario from this perspective. I mean, look at the curvature of the Earth here. This is incredible. You zoom all the way down here. You've got like EC-130s that are basically doing intelligence runs. You've got this gigantic group of F-18s, each with their own sets of escorts. Way out in the front, you can see we have some Sukhoi 9s. Those are actually Sukhoi 9s, not 22s. And you can see they're throwing some MiG-25s at us. Over on our side of things, again, you can see all our... Oh, we forgot to put our Harriers away. Look at how mountainous this region is. We should have taken advantage of that, shouldn't we? We've got some tornadoes coming. Actually, this is not us. This is the Air Force guys. They're going to be striking one of the airports down here. Coming back down our side, look at... Oh, there's our Hoovers. You can see they're all lining themselves up to land on the CVN-71, which is right here, just kind of hanging out and receiving all those wonderful aircraft. But just look at how big of a region this is. I'm kind of proud of just the amount of work that went into this. Again, everybody likes to play a different kind of game, and this is just kind of a neat little way to sort of experiment. Where I want to go next, and again, if you guys are interested, I can start looking this way, is I want to come up with a way that I could actually create the supply situation. So if you blow up a bunch of factories, they have less missiles to launch at you or something like that. And again, using Lua, that wouldn't be that difficult to do. It'd just be a matter of kind of establishing what the overall supply is kind of dynamically. And let's go ahead and take a look at some other assets we have here. Look at this. This is all of the aircraft that they're using. Oh, VFA. Oh, these guys are getting fuel. Nice. Tremendous, 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 tremendous amount of aircraft being used here. And I'm got to get myself a book on Allied Force because basically it was a nightmare to try to communicate between all the different countries and be able to figure out what was going on each time. Yeah, this isn't going to end well. Oh, that's not good. Those are very, very fast aircraft. It's just amazing to think there's MiG-29 versus MiG-29 on this side of things, and that's cool. By the way, if you look what time of day it is, it's literally barely morning at this point. So it's just incredible to see how this all works. All right, hopefully you guys enjoy. And again, if you find any bugs or anything you want me to change, give me a heads up in the comments. I'll go ahead and do so. Otherwise, I think in the future, I'm going to come up with some kind of real-time strategy version of this where you can use special actions, but that'll come later. Enjoy.